There we go. All right, we're on, logged in. Hey, first of all, I want to introduce everyone to Dorsa. She's the newest member of our team. She was referred to us by her dad, okay, Ahmad Arshi, who was one of the shareholders of the company, and was nice enough to say, to give his daughter to us. How great is that, right? So she is a graduate. Tell us a little about yourself.
So I got my Bachelor of Science in Psychology from UCSD in spring of 2023. And then from there I knew that I wanted to pursue real estate. Luckily psychology applies to everything, so I studied up for the exam and then I passed it in April. So
good.
First try, of course.
Yeah.
UCSD is so easy to get
We have
into.
an
I figured she
official
would be okay on the test. Okay, so I want to get going. I want this to be interactive, like I said. I want you guys to ask questions along the way. We will put this on 805 Academy. It'll be a little bit looser format, but I honestly think, God gave me one gift in life, and it was to organize. I can organize anything. And so I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. We have two screens. One screen is going to be for the PowerPoint up here, and then the screen up here is going to be when we start to actually demonstrate some of the things that we actually do. Okay, so, and here's the thing. I know some of you, this is going to be kind of like a whole lot at one time. When I look at this is really easy for me. It comes easy, but it's like, somebody asked me to draw something and I draw stick figures, and maybe you're the artist or the musician, or some things come easy. This is easy for me. But it may not be easy for you, but it's so important to get it. Organization, the great thing about it is you can do it when you have a lot of time, and then it saves you time forever after that. And that's why it's so important. When you look at organization, an hour of organization should save you hundreds of hours in the long term. So, okay, first of all, the first thing is this you, okay? Right down here. Is that you? The best organizer, who do you think the best organizers in the entire world? Just think of animals, everything. Who's the best organizer? Not people, think of anything.
Oh, okay.
Like Megan.
Think of anything.
Technically, the best organizers in the world are ants.
Oh,
yeah,
I was
we're
gonna say
right.
like a beaver. Totally.
I was gonna say that. Ants and bees.
Right track.
Ants and bees, okay. So if ants and bees are the best, then we can do it as well. Okay, if they can do it, we can do it. So, and again, when you want one-on-one time later with this, let me know. I'll be happy to help you with that. So organization is pretty easy. Here's the things we're going to talk about today. Organize your computer, notes and the importance of notes, your calendar, emails, your contact relationship management, your CRM, and then the last thing, which is pretty simple, and that's make sure your stories as well. Because the last thing you want to do is do everything, have everything organized, but someday potentially lose it all. So I got a couple quotes on organization that I kind of like. One is, for every minute I spend organizing, an hour is earned. I talked about that earlier. Clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions, which is really true. In fact, people that are organized can usually make quick, decisive, accurate, good decisions. People that aren't organized usually have trouble making decisions. I know people have trouble ordering menu items at a restaurant. I mean, I can look at a menu, and if I need to order right away, I will. Why? Because it's not a decision that requires a lot of, if you get it wrong, who really cares? It's one meal, right?
Not a big risk.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Your brain.
That's funny.
So good order is the foundation of all things. I agree with that. The key to success is often the ability to organize the chaos. And if that's not true in real estate, I don't know where it's more true. An organization is what you do before you do something, so that when you do it, it's not all mixed up. Okay. Now I want to show a picture. If this is your desktop.
Ed, we don't see, you're doing this little screen?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the one I'm showing right now.
got
I'm
it.
not illustrating
Just
anything.
making sure.
So if this is your desktop, then you need to be here. And by the way, this was Brent's desktop last week, but look at his desktop now. Oh, you haven't turned it on yet. Oh, okay.
Brent! Thank you, Brent. Now you're making me look bad. Great.
So you've probably heard before that your desk is a reflection of your mind. And I believe that not only is the desk a reflection of your mind, your desktop is a reflection of your mind. So this is my desktop. Okay, you see it right here. What I like on my desktop is something that will motivate me. Okay, if you look at the desktop I have here, this was where we went on our trip recently. That was my desktop that I have actually on my computer, because I want something I'm going to look forward to. I want somebody on there who motivates me. Notice how Charlotte is photobombing and that. So those are the kind of things, I want that to be my happy place. When I look at that, I don't want to go, oh my God, where do I start? I want to look at something on my desktop that's going to excite me or motivate me, okay? Everything else needs to be somewhere else, okay?
Okay.
If you go into somebody's house, have you ever been to a house where things are really nice and neat, but you open up the cupboards and everything falls out?
Yes.
Well, at least it's nice and neat through the house. But ideally, it's not only nice and neat through the house, it's nice and neat in all the drawers and stuff. We live in a little bitty condo that's 1,477 square feet. We have open cupboards and cabinets that have nothing in them in our home, okay? Because we do not keep junk around. In fact, our Angie used to tell the kids, keep moving or Dad'll throw you out, which was pretty true.
Don't stand still too
Oh
long.
my goodness, that's funny.
So,
Note to self, if they ever go to Ed's house.
yeah, for sure.
Just
And
keep
it is pretty neat. If you see my garage before, it's neat. If you see inside our house, it's neat. Why not? And what's the key to keeping something neat or organized?
Throw it away.
No, well, throw it away is one thing, okay? But the other thing is just put it back where you got it. I mean, if you guys notice in here, the hub is always nice and neat and put together, right? Because when I come in here, I always spend 60 seconds putting things back where they're supposed to be, or putting the waters up or something like that. I want it to be a great work atmosphere, and so I spend a minute making sure it does. But a minute's not very much. It's just not very much. So anyway, now, first thing I want to talk about is your computer, as I'm losing my voice, of course. So the folders on my computer are pretty simple, okay? They are, and I'm going to show you right here my actual computer, so you'll see on the big screen. These are my folders, okay? And when I open things right here,
Still too small.
this is all my Dropbox, which is everything here is backed up. If I put anything on here, it means it's completely backed up. You can see I have my photos, presentations, I have a vault, videos, but really what I work with is number one up here, okay?
What's it say?
Number one, these are all my folders. Now, have you noticed here, I put Ed and I put a number one by it. Why did I put a number one by Ed?
So it goes to the top of the list.
Well, it'll be on top, yeah. If you want something on top, just number it, it'll be on top. Okay, so these are all the things that the folders I have. I don't have that many, but I have more than most of you might have, okay? You can see I've got current, personal, right team real estate, things like that. If you open my right team real estate, you're gonna find that I've got a lot of different things within there. These are called subfolders or nested folders. You start with the base folder and then everything else you put in there. This would be very much like a file cabinet. In a file cabinet, you open the file cabinet, you open a drawer, and within them you have different files. This is the same thing. Your folder is your cabinet, and each one of the files or subfolders would be your files below it, or nested folders. And here's the thing. You can see I have a lot of folders in here in the right team that are nested folders. And I always try to make sure, like the things I use the most often is my commissions, when I record commissions. And number two would be my right team meeting notes I make for our meeting for our monthly meeting. So those I put alphabetically, or I put numerically. Everything else just follows alphabetically, okay? And then within all of these folders, there's obviously other folders. Sometimes folders, and that one there's just files. If you open up ChatGPT, there's not much in there, but I got templates that I use in there. Goals and coaching, I've got more folders in there, okay? So the main thing is everything is nice and neat and organized. I organize this once every year. At the end of the year, I go through all my folders and stuff and reorganize or throw out, and I do not just keep throwing junk in there. If every time you open a folder, you gotta go through 10 things to get to what you want, it's not good, okay? It's not good. So that's how I organize. Very simple. It's kind of easy, and once you organize like this, you'll see it. One of my most important folders on here, and it's listed number one, is called current. Now, what is current? What would current most likely be for most people on the team?
Things to do today or this week.
Escrows?
Well, that's kind of, okay, that's right. But what it would really be is your desktop. most people throw everything on your desktop, right?
Yes.
You have all your folders on your desktop. I don't. I have folders that I'm working on, like I'm working on organizational training today. So I'm working on that right now. That's in my current. Okay, I've got a couple things I'm working on with an escrow I have there, and I have my Bible study in there because I was working on that. Everything else is put in a folder and tucked away. So this is like if you have a valet, at night I lay out my clothes to wear the next day on my valet. This would be like my valet, things that I'm working with right now. And then the next day, when I'm done with all this stuff and I'm done with training today, I will put the organization in a training of 2025 that I did. It'll all be in there.
Can I pause you
So,
for a second?
Yeah, of course.
So, all that you showed us so far is in the ed folder.
Yep.
Okay. What are the other folders? You're probably gonna get to it, but I just want you to
Yeah,
go
so-
back one.
So these, you mean right there. Okay, the
Those
other
are in
ones,
the ed. Those are all in the ed.
these are all in ed. This is where it all starts.
Okay.
Now, what all this starts with is really in Dropbox. That means that everything I put in here is backed up. Now, I like the backup, at least, I back up 4 different ways. But I back up, first of all, we have it backed up on our server here. I have it backed up in Dropbox. I have it backed up on a disk annually. I have it backed up, I have 2 different computers. So I have it on both computers and they sync with each other. And in addition to that, I have a monthly backup on a big disk at home. Now, Lisa?
Murdad taught me that we all have a OneDrive,
Yes.
and that's where I don't do Dropbox because they messed up on me. So OneDrive, you could do everything that he's doing.
Doesn't it
Yes.
automatically back up for you?
Yes.
Yes, it
Yeah,
automatically
yeah.
backs up. Now, again, this doesn't matter what you use. OneDrive is great. There's a lot of them that you can use, but whatever you use, just use it. It's great, as long as you have a backup. But you want to have things backed up. I am probably, as far as risk adverse, I'm probably the least risk adverse person you'll ever meet in your life. I mean, I've started companies, I went back and played football at age 33. I've jumped out of airplanes and been on fighter plane.
Oh,
I'm not risk adverse at
jeez.
all.
So
I leave my door open, even when we leave on vacations, I never lock it, okay? I'm risk adverse, okay? I'm not risk adverse. But when it comes to my computer, nobody is more risk adverse than I am. I have things backed up 4 or 5 different ways. Because if I lost this, I can't reproduce it. If somebody comes in my house and steals the TV, I call my insurance company and they'll put a brand new one in there. But this, I cannot imagine every policy at Regency, every policy at Aviara, every policy at Legacy, all the documents from the start of all these companies, all of everything I have in the right team and everything I've ever done. If that were ever wiped out, I would be destroyed. I would absolutely be destroyed. I wouldn't know where to go.
I would
My
do the same
life's
thing.
work is in my computer, so I have it backed up in so many ways that my house could burn down, we could be bombed in Mission Viejo. I've still got it off-site, in the web, in safes, computers, in my house, everywhere I have backups. Now, you may not have to have as many backups as I have. It's just, I'm not gonna ever be without everything I need. The reason I have 2 computers is because I usually leave, a lot of times I leave one here at home. But imagine if your computer went out one day, how lost you would be in this business. I can't afford not to have 2 computers. That if one of my computers went down mechanically, I go right to the other one, we're ready to go. Okay, now, I'm not saying everyone has to buy 2 computers, okay? But it means enough to me to do that. I'm that risk adverse, I can't be without my computer. I don't have 2 phones. Phones would be pretty easy. If you lost your phone, you could walk in the Apple store, you could back everything up immediately. It's on your Apple Drive, okay? So here you go, folders on my computer, I talked about that. Anybody wants more on this, we can do it. I'm gonna kind of move on though. And I'm gonna talk about notes, okay? Notes is, I can't take off my phone right now because we're recording, but this is what I have on notes. I like to use Awesome Notes, and the reason I like it is really pretty simple. I love the colors. I love the color jobs. That's it. Now,
That's an app.
you can use Awesome Notes, Microsoft OneNote, Apple Notes, Google Notebook, Evernote, there's many more. I don't care which one you use, okay? But you need to have a note thing. Now, what's really important with notes, if you were to open up my tabs, I have a to-do list, okay? And my to-do list is what I'm gonna do each and every day. I have a complete list. Not only do I have a to-do list, but I also have every week when I do, every Wednesday I do the to-do list for 2 weeks out. So when I open up, I know what I have to do that day, okay?
So
Yeah.
I remember another class we took with you, and you said every night before you go to bed, you firm up what you're gonna do the next day. Is this where you do it?
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
it on your phone?
I'm gonna look
or
at my
what is
to-do
it?
list, I wanna make sure what I have to tee up for the next day, okay?
So
I
it's
always
on
wanna-
your phone though, not, do you have a,
On my phone, well, two things. I have a phone, I'm gonna show you my calendar in a minute. Because phones are to do things, calendar are appointments that you have, okay?
Okay.
There's a difference. So on all my notes, I have, my notes, I use this all the time. You might notice, if I ever meet with you, I probably have a list of questions or things I want to talk to you about, okay? And the reason I do is when I have meetings that set up, I will set up questions I have for people that I want to ask when I get together. And many you will know that I go to my list and these are things I want to talk about. I put them on there. So the reason I look at this is I don't want to put anything in my brain that I can find somewhere else. So somebody asked Einstein one time, they said, the smartest guy in the world, maybe you heard this before, I've told you, but the smartest guy in the world, they asked him for his phone number, he goes, I don't know it, I gotta look it up. He goes, the smartest guy in the world, you don't remember your phone number? He goes, no, this is only reserved for something I can't find someplace else. Get all the crap out of here. Don't have your brain looking like spaghetti inside. Have it organized so you can get the things right away, okay? And so I use notes for everything. Now, if you look at my notes, you'll see that I've got, it's on here. So I've got the very top one is to do. Why is it on the top? It's on the top because that's the one I use the most every day. I open that to-do list. It would say today, tomorrow. I've got it 2 weeks out always, sometimes 2.5 weeks. I do my new list every Wednesday. I have certain set things I do every week, whether it's my laundry or to-do list, things like that. I have a little cheat sheet on there that these are the things I'm gonna put my to-do list every week. So when I go and make my to-do list, like I did this morning, I make sure all those events are on there, okay? Now, shopping list is a good one you have on there. Another one is notes. Notes is really good. Notes is anything that I think I might need. When we get a new door code here at the office, I put it down here. Because guess what? You might forget. So might Ruthie. I've had calls twice from Ruthie wanting to know what the new door code
I
is.
cannot remember.
I just look it up
lately.
in the door code
I
in
just
my
put it
email.
under agency.
I text you
My
all at the same time,
contacts.
whoever's fastest replies.
But
Thank you
see,
for not
that's,
texting me.
again, things like that I
The
put
last
down.
2 months.
I often go to, I'll have coffee across the street once, and I have meetings out there. I have the bathroom code on there, because I wanna know how you punch to go in the bathroom. I'm not gonna remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's 2580, but I'm gonna put it down there to remember it. I put everything on there. If I have, within that notes file, if somebody might wanna look at my phone when I get it off, I have all kinds of folders. I have notes for restaurants that I like and seatings that I like within the restaurants. And that's all kinds of
Tables.
files I have within subfolders in that notes. I have notes for everything. One of the other things I have, you'll see, is projects. I always have a projects list. Projects are things I want to do long term. Right now, my only thing on projects is a training I'm going to do future, which is on body language. That's on my project list to get that completed within the next month or two, because that's on my projects list. So projects are things that they don't have a time that's set. I don't have to do them right away. I've got long term, but they're projects that I want. Yeah, Max?
Okay, so going back to notes and your door codes and all that stuff,
Mhm.
so you have a bunch of notes, you have a bunch of door codes, and you have a bunch of info. So are you filing that under notes door codes, or are you filing it under
Is
notes
agency or
restaurant?
what?
You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
so I'll kind of show you. So I kind of do it both ways. Like for the door codes, this is the only door code I need.
So if I say your bathroom, so are you saying this is the restaurant, like Taco Mesa is a bathroom code?
I have them all on there because they're going to change often. I put them right on the miscellaneous. Now, I have sayings that I really like or quotes that I really like. I have a quotes thing. I pick up a quote I really like. I put it in my quotes thing. Okay. Another thing you'll see, I have a whole tab for names. I'm huge on names. Not big, huge. I have names that I have two lists. One is everything combined together. The other is my pickleball list. Everybody that I play pickleball with, that I play with, I write their name down and put a note next to them what will remind me of them. Okay? If Ruthie, I played with her the first time, and she wears a hat like that, she has glasses, and she looks like, I will pull a note that will remind me of what she's like. When I go and play pickleball, everybody there, I use their name all the time. Now, somebody told me recently, you're like the mayor here. I'm not the mayor. okay? But I know everyone's name. And ask Joy, when I walk in, I use everybody's name. I don't know people better than Joy knows people there. I just use names more. So guess what? When I keep using Joy's name or Greg's name or whoever it might be that's there, then guess what they do? They know my name because my name knows their name. People like to hear their name. I've got names. When I go to Captain Jack's, okay, I know Mark is the valet. I know Ronnie is the manager. I know that Billy is the waiter that I use most of the time. When I went to 805 Academy, some of you guys were with me the other day, I know who the general manager is. I know that that's
Wait,
Amanda.
805 Academy?
No,
Not
you
805, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Rare
Rare
Society. When I went to Rare Society there, we had a group of us there. I know the general manager, I know the manager, I know my favorite, Haley's my favorite server. I write all their names down.
Did you put
Will
it
I
under
remember
name?
them? No, I won't remember them. That's why I write them down. Just before I go in, I know. Now, when you go there enough times, I know who Hallie is, I know who Mark is, I know who Greg is, I know all the people now.
So your name.
So under names, you have categories.
And not
Yes,
the Rare Society.
under names,
Under
but
names.
not under Rare Side, just names.
Names.
You have pickleball, then you
So
have
you
your
have to scroll
restaurant.
through 20,000 pages.
Yeah,
to
but
see
guess
the
what?
list
No,
of
you
names,
start to
right?
memorize names. No, it's not 20,000 pages. It might be 100 names, but guess what? I know about when I put that name down there.
I get it.
Rare Society would be about 3/4 of the way down, and I put all the Rare Society names under each other. I just use
Okay.
names everywhere I go, but I get business everywhere I go. And that's the way I look at it. One of the things is like Ruthie's really good about this. Ruthie, real estate is not what she does. It's who she is. And that's why, everywhere I go, and the name thing, I like it for other reasons, but it's great for business as well. So get to know people's names and put them on there. All the restaurants I go, I know the people's names. Another thing I do at restaurants is like, for instance, tonight, Angie and I are going to Hannah's, okay? We're gonna talk about our trip that we're gonna take for our son's wedding in September. We got some plans to make. And so, guess what? I always reserve it's just her and I, table 63. Why do I reserve that table? All the restaurants I go to that I find a table I like, when I go to Rare Society, I'm always at table 201, okay? Always ask for Hallie as my server. Because I develop relationships with those people, why go in a restaurant and have them put you where they want to put you? I want to be put where I want to sit. I find out where the best table is somewhere. The first time I go, I write it down, and when I make reservations, I request that table.
Good,
They'll give it to you. Why not?
right.
I get the best table everywhere I go. Okay, so little things like that. This is just part of the organization that I do. Yeah.
Just one idea, what I do for names or door codes, I put them in my contacts, so for instance, Regency Real Estate is a contact, and there's a note section there.
Yeah,
So that's where I put my door code or anything. that I need
So
to remember.
there's two things, and that's great, Donna. Here's two things that are required: that you record it somewhere, and you know where you record it.
Right,
Yeah.
that's the
Because
key.
because you've got to set up
Know
this
where you put it.
hierarchy of where I get things at.
Right,
Okay, because if you don't, it's going to drive you crazy. I've got it somewhere. Okay, I know I've got it. I don't know where I have it at. So you need to know where it's at as well.
Like have a system.
Thanks, Donna. I
Absolutely.
updated Regency 14.
well,
There you
Rick,
go.
is that your contact now?
It is. It
I have
wasn't there, it
Regency-
just was 45.
I have Regency and then 14 right next to it.
And I have
for
the
contact.
number, and I have the Wi-Fi, all that's under
Yeah.
Regency.
Yeah.
012, whatever.
My firstborn
And
is
what-
under Regency.
So
Yeah.
again, it's not only having it, but knowing where it's at and knowing your system in your head, and having just within in your head what is your system. Okay, so we've gone over our computer. Now we kind of go over the importance of having notes, and I think notes are so valuable. I mean, I use them for quotes, I use them for sayings, for things to remember. I record my blood pressure on the 31st of every month, or the last day of every month, and my weight as well. Just keeps me, kind of going on things like that. I have a prayer list that I keep up as we pray. I like to pray often. My prayer list is something I open up all the time. Many of you are on that. You're all on there as a group all the time, but individually as we have things come up, and other friends and family members. So again, whatever, I've got everything. There's nothing there's nothing in here. I mean, it's just like, it's not spaghetti, it's just
You'll
a big
show
open
us
space.
that after this, your
Yeah,
notes?
I'll be happy to show you when we get done with this. In fact, the last thing I'll do is pop this thing off and I'll
Okay.
open it up for you. Okay.
Another really nice thing about notes is you can actually send your notes to your email, and then you can print it out if you need to make
Yes.
other notes or do.
never done that.
Yes, Donna, you're right.
Word doc or, translate it somehow in your client file.
But Ed, when you say notes, you don't have an iPhone, so do you have the actual
He
notes?
uses
Yeah,
awesome notes.
Yeah, I have an iPhone, I have a notes.
I meant like in your computer though. So,
No, I
so
just,
these
notes are only on my
Oh,
phone.
so this is all on your iPhone now. Okay.
Yeah, my iPhone, I don't take my computer with me all the time.
Okay.
I have
But
so many
I take
notes.
my iPhone's always with me. So it's,
Yeah,
so my to-do list, you know, is part of my notes, and that's where I'm at. And I can obviously get email on my phone too. So, okay, so there we go. Moving on, okay, and this is gonna be calendar here. This is a screenshot of my calendar list, but I'm gonna give it to you on the big one here. Okay, and this is my calendar list. I wanna show you how you use calendars in a lot of different ways. Okay, so one way I like to use calendars is you obviously put all the events that you're gonna have, okay? So your monthly events and things like that you put down. But also there's one thing I like to put down, well, a couple things. First of all, I like to not only put my events down, but I like to put notes within those.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say for instance somebody, you know, I have a reservation at Benihana's, I'll have who that's down, you know, all these different things will have things with them. Okay, let me see if I can find some stuff that's in here. So let's see. So like for instance, if I have a wedding or something like that, or like we're going, like let's take last week or a couple weeks ago, we're gonna go to Rare Society. I had the volunteers. Well, the people that volunteered for things this year are the people we asked to go. So these were the things I wrote down there. And within that, I had where it's at. I've got all the volunteers in there and things like that. So everything that I've got is in there in that note section, in the calendar. So it's there. Your calendar's on your phone as well, but you gotta put detailed notes in those calendars. I gotta tell you, I can't tell you how many times I think I'm gonna remember something and I don't. Whether the address of the place you're going, the time it is, special notes about it, things like that, those are things that you wanna put in there and keep in there. Okay, yeah, Donna?
I would say what's also helpful is I always put in my location, so that way as soon as I get in my car, it pops up on my maps.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
And then that way I know like how long it's
Wait,
gonna
wait.
take and.
Hey, by the way, a really cool thing that I use, and a lot of people here know I use it. I use a simple app called Glimpse. Anytime I'm gonna meet somebody, you should do this to all your clients. It's a simple, free thing, and all it does, it gives your location, it shows your progress, even shows your miles per hour, things like that. So if I'm gonna, you know, all of a sudden meet Terry somewhere for coffee, I can send a glimpse and she can see where I'm coming at and
Is
make
that
sure.
You have to have, does your client have to have the app?
No, they don't have to have the app because it's sent as a text message, and when they open up they see a text and it says, open this up for your location, it opens it up.
I think our iPhone does.
You
I
could
mean,
do
I
it
think
on
we do
Google
have
Maps.
Yeah, there's Google Maps, there's different things it does it. I like Glimpse, it's again, I'm not even sure it's best for anything, I just know what I like and what I
Yeah,
don't.
right, and it
I
works
think-
for you.
I think a lot of times we focus on the best one instead of just
So
learning
many.
one that's good.
Seriously.
Okay, so, okay, another thing that I like to do on my calendar is I put events, but a lot of times, like, things are gonna happen, appointments and things like that. But, like, for instance, Money Kenny, okay? Money Kenny was nothing I had, it wasn't something that wasn't an appointment. What it was, he's our window cleaner, I was gonna be gone, and and I knew this window cleaning was set up like 2 months ago. It's not on my to-do list, my to-do list doesn't go 2 months out, so it says Money Kenny. And all Kenny says is doing windows on the 15th, so leave out the money. So then when I come and start doing my to-do list, I extract that off of that to-do list, I off the calendar, put it on my to-do list, and then I can then delete it off of my calendar if I want, okay? So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're doing here.
So I noticed you do all just in yellow, no different colored codes.
I don't use colors, but colors are great. I mean, a lot of people do like the different colors and things like that. My calendar, I don't look at that often. It's my note things that I'm looking at all the time. I look at my calendar, I always know what my appointments are gonna be and things like that. And like, for instance, we have a new gal who's gonna come to our team. So this is like just some notes, emails I wrote to her about coming, about where she's at. So when I remind her of this meeting she's coming, I've got all the notes that in my emails to her to kind of, because I made this appointment 2 months ago with her. Okay, she couldn't make our last meeting, and so I can't even remember what our conversation was, but I got it down. You don't have to remember everything, all you have to do is record it, okay? And you're gonna see in a minute, Lynn's gonna show you some things about how great it can be when you record information on people. Okay, so that's where I use my calendar. I think that kind of self-explanatory. And email programs. Now, it doesn't matter which one you use, but again, I like to use the email program. You can use Outlook, Google Mail, Mac, Apple, I don't care, Yahoo Mail, I don't care what you use. Yahoo makes you look pretty old, but I don't care which email program you use, but email is really important. And what I'm gonna do is, I like Outlook because I can access the email on it, the calendar and contact on one program. Okay, so like over here, I've got, everything is here together. I've got all my contacts are right here, okay? My email is right here. And you notice I keep things pretty much down and off my email. As you can tell, all these are new emails. They're all new emails since I started this meeting, because my email is cleared all the time. And Lynn's gonna kind of show you how we can kind of do that. Again, that's that. You can also use my people files, that's my contacts. You got your calendar, events, and you've got your email all in one. That's why I like Outlook. You can do the same thing on your Apple computer as well, but I like having all those in one place, okay? Okay, so the Mac system is good because you have that ecosystem all together, which is great. The disadvantage of Apple is the compatibility with many Microsoft programs. And Microsoft, I know that you guys don't like hearing this, but in the business world, generally Microsoft rules. In the personal world, Mac works, and that's where, and that rules. And that's why when you go into a lot of high-end jobs and things like that, your high-end jobs you're gonna have, they're not gonna be any Mac, they're gonna be all PC. I don't care what you use, because this is more of a personal business, but that's like a lot of people have had over the years trouble getting our printer and things like that with Mac, because these printers are meant for PCs. But by now, I can tell you, pretty much everything is compatible with everything now. 10 years ago, it was a little bit different, but now things are compatible. So a couple things to remember about email. People really fear, the last thing you want to do is put something in trash, right? And my question is, why don't you want to put something in trash?
In case you don't find it. In case you shouldn't have deleted it, what? You should.
Wait a minute. Trash is not trash. Trash is a folder. See, you keep thinking that trash is like you throw it here and the custodian that night's going to throw it out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start looking at trash. That trash is a folder. It's a folder, and therefore, that's all it is a folder.
Isn't it empty though?
No, it's not.
Only
Oh, not an
sometimes
email.
to empty
If you
it.
set
So
it up that way.
when you dump your emails
Once a
into
year.
the trash,
Yeah.
okay, it's in a folder.
So you don't just stress about it.
No,
Just throw it
now
in
here's
there.
what I do.
Okay.
Every
I like this.
December 31st, I wipe out all my emails from 2 years ago. That means at all times, on December 31st, I have 1 year of emails, but January 1st, but December 31st, I have 2 years of emails. Now, I also back up everything on a drive, so guess what? I've got every email I've ever written. It's not in the trash.
You back it up.
Get used to putting things on trash. This is what I can open this right here and look at my email. This is, and I can do Buffini. I don't need that one. I can delete that one. I can't delete that one. I can delete this one. I can delete this one. And I can't delete these three. I need to look at those. Before I go to lunch today, I'll delete all those. And I keep those deleted on my phone all the time. Most people spend way too much time on social media and not enough time on their text and emails. I only do social media every morning, period. I only have my family and my team, you guys, on Instagram. Unfortunately, my Facebook, I have more, but I don't look at very much on it. I would strongly recommend, you only look at social media once a day, at night or in the morning. I know
I do.
the average person looks at it about 40 times a day.
What?
But 40 times a day, a lot of people look, but you need to look at your social media once a day. You'll save yourself an hour and a half. And guess what? You'll now start to get people off of social media you don't want on there. Okay? So if you guys want to put something on I only look at our team website once every morning. I have
You mean our
notification.
Facebook?
And I can tell you this, do not have notifications for social media. You've got to be nuts if you have that. I'm just telling you straight out. If you have your social media on notifications, you are nuts. So people's lives, every time they post what they ate, you're going to want to be notified on your phone. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Once a day. I challenge everyone once a day to look at your social media. But more times look at your email and your text messages. Because guess what? Do most of your clients email you? Okay, they message you, or do most of them either text you or call you or email you?
So wait, how many times are you checking your email throughout the day?
Several times.
Just like
Yeah,
you have a
all my
minute?
dead time. Anytime I have dead time. If I'm waiting, and I might check my email. You guys will know that I'm pretty good about responding pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But you guys are my clients. And how you guys see how I respond to you is how your clients look at you. And I want your clients to look at you as you look at me. And I'm going to be pretty responsive. I'm as responsive to email as I am to text message, pretty much.
God, that's great.
But my emails do not give me a notification when they come in. My text does. It gives a slight little beep. So I'm slightly better with my text messages. But I don't think anyone here would say I'm bad about responding to text message or emails. But you need to be. But social media, I really don't matter. I mean, that's the reason why I only have you guys and my really close friends and family on Instagram. Okay. And if anyone's looked at Instagram while you're in this meeting, you are nuts. Okay.
They better know.
So I'm just telling you,
Joy.
if you look at statistical, so if anyone wants me to look at their phone, I will go on their phone and show you how much time you're on social media. I can look it up in 60 seconds and show you how many hours per day you spend on it. But don't show it to me because you're not going to like my lecture.
I'll show you.
I'm not.
Is there
Right.
a setting where you can delete an email on your phone and it deletes it on your computer?
Yeah, everything, my email and my phone. So when I work off my phone for my email, when I'm out, that's I don't have a computer. It deletes it. Yeah, absolutely.
It should work together.
What is the setting?
The setting, let's just talk to our IT guys. Murdoch did that set up for you. I could probably set it for you too, but he'll do it in 60 seconds. Yeah, so anytime I do a calendar, like let's say for instance, I make an appointment with Steve on something on my phone, immediately it goes right to my calendar on my computer. So everything, and that's why I like my system of everything integrating with everything.
How did you
So-
just say that?
If I put something on my calendar, if I made an appointment
Yeah.
with Steve to play pickleball tomorrow
Right.
morning, I wrote it down, it immediately goes from my phone to my calendar on my screen here. So I've got that. The only thing that I only have one place is all my list. That's only on my phone. Okay. But my phone I have with me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The only time that my phone is really off is at night, usually around 7, 8 o'clock. I turn it off. I don't turn it on again until next morning around 4 or 5 o'clock. So, now I've told you guys before, if you want to reach me at between 4 and 5 o'clock, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go. You call me at 8 o'clock, you do not get the best of me, okay? You might not even get me, so. Okay, so, Lynn, you want to connect here? Okay. She's going to connect, and she's going to go through and show us something. So Lynn is the first person that, first of all, she's an ex-auditor for 10 years at a high level of banks.
Well, there you
So
have it.
she, to some degree, she's super organized. And then to other degree, you can actually sit here if you want, in a wheelchair. In other ways, she's not as organized as I would be, but she wanted to become really organized. So I said, we'll go through the system to work on it. And she's really challenged me to kind of be there for her.
Awesome.
And I think I was. One of the reasons why I wanted her to work on it is because the last time I was working with clients, I only worked with clients for 2 years on a computer. Most of mine are on Rolodex. Okay, it's been 20 years since I worked with clients. We didn't even have all this stuff. The only way I was working with clients, and I had a lot of premarital counselors that I work with, and that's not the same here as this. So one of the things that Lynn is set up on is, and I'm going to kind of let her even talk about it. So kind of illustrate how you set up your email folders, and then kind of follow on. So the rest is hers. And then ask questions, guys.
Okay. I think for me, how I look at email folders, it's a very overwhelming process for me just because I'm not naturally organized. So I do try to think about these folders are going to be like a learning process for me. Sometimes I figure out that I only need so many folders, so I might start off and get super creative, like, oh, I need 10 folders, I need a tax reporting folder, I need a client folder, but then I start slimming things down. and figure out what works. So let me just show you what I have right now that works for me. So right now, you'll see that I have a general inbox which captures almost all the emails except for your deleted emails. So I've noticed if you deleted things away, it'll go into its own file here. So if you try to do a search within your inbox, you're not gonna find your deleted emails. That's what I learned. So I figured out that I generally just have about 3 buckets I wanna keep. Things that sometimes Ruth has been super helpful and so has been Ed. So I get emails from them, telling me, this is what you need to do for your escrow, or these are the things you need to be on the lookout as far as sharing marketing updates. So I know that those are things, I kind of treat them as like my tutorial, my procedures. So I could like to go back and like to look at what they've shown me to do. So I created a folder just for that. So as I get more emails from them.
What was that folder name?
Oh, so I just save for mentorship or something.
Okay.
So if I
can't read it. Okay.
Yeah, so as I get more emails from them, I'll just move it towards there because I know those are just strictly emails I get from Ed and Ruth. And then I have one for save for clients. So that's a huge bucket where I've kind of played around with it and I figured out that I wanted to keep it for clients, leads, and community. So there's things that are really important for my day of business. I like to stay in contact with my clients, but I need to be able to retrieve if there's any information about leads or emails that comes through. I want to be able to pinpoint where they're at. So like, for example, I'm in escrow right now, so I have a slot. Yeah, thank you. So I have a slot just named it by my client's name, so that every time I get an email that comes in, I just take some kind of action, or after I take into the action, I'll move the folder into there. So let me just kind of show you some other stuff, like for other purposes, like things I might find helpful to look at in the future, or things like I get receipts for my businesses, I'll just move it towards into this huge bucket here.
So you put your files on your email, not on your desktop?
No, not all the time. Yeah, only things that are that I know I'm going to continue to work on.
Yeah.
I want you to know that that will disappear in
What
12 months.
Okay.
Because of the way our server is. So those emails do not stay forever.
Okay.
So if there's something you want to keep, you need to put it in a folder.
Okay.
Which I have the same thing you do. I have like mentorship or templates. I call them templates. So like when I first started, I would have the template for how to fill out the residential purchase agreement. Every new document I saved as a template. And until you do it over and over again, you're gonna forget how to fill them out. But now there's new ones coming in June. So, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that all emails, what you just said?
Yes, through our server.
Got it.
No, I think that's a good point too, for sure. I think we shouldn't rely on our emails as a file repository.
Right.
So I think where I find the distinction is like, let's say I get a file, I get loan documents come back with signatures. I'm gonna save that into my desktop folder. So I'm gonna keep that because that's something I need to be able to recall back. But for email purposes, sometimes I find that like wires gets crossed because people are like, oh, I didn't get this, or or no, I sent you the docs on this day, what do you mean? So like sometimes emails are good to go back and figure out who said what, so I can pinpoint and say, hey, this is what happened, this is why I'm following up, actually I sent you those bank statements before, can you make sure to look at it again? So things like that are helpful.
Ruthie, just so you know, on your computer stays there, but our backup is only here, because this comes off your cache, and your cache is off your computer, that's your computer backup. But the backup they have, here only is 1 year. But the backup you have on your computer is what's known as your cache, and that stays on forever, unless you.
Mind you not, I have every folder from every client that I've had because I like to remember their names, and they're all gone.
Oh, okay, well I've got stuff from 3 years on.
For over 2
and my cache
years.
keeps it on.
They just went away?
I was gonna say mine
Yes,
is
they're
2
gone.
years, not 1 year.
It might be 2 years. They're
So
gone.
I think
They're
what you
empty.
have is, you might need to check your
On your
computer settings.
Outlook.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
Outlook.
empty, all those folders.
Outlook.
So I save them all to their file, so it doesn't matter.
Just
But
for
I
protection.
but as I get them, they all go to a file. So I have a client's name, and then as soon as we open escrow, it goes into escrow. Because you got a bunch of emails, before you get the escrow, so then I have a folder right underneath just to keep track of that.
And see, most of your folders that you put for your email, like I have like when we're doing our trip, all the stuff we have for the trip I put in there. But when that trip is over, I just delete that folder because I don't need it anymore. That's the trip is gone, we're done. I put stuff for all my vacations in there. When it's done, I'm done. I'm working on you know, like I'm working on an escrow right now, at the end of the escrow, you'd move all that stuff over to Sky Slope and you delete that file, cause you're done. Like
And
the one
Sky
that
Slope
wins,
keeps it, right?
Yeah,
Sky
if you
Slope will
put
keep
the
it.
address,
Right.
What? Okay.
if you put that.
But you
But
said
what
it's
if
only a
somebody
year.
changes and they don't wanna do Sky
they
Slope
keep
anymore?
everything on Sky
They don't
Slope for
have it.
5 years, I believe. We're required
5
to
or
keep it
7?
3 years. I think they keep
3
it
to
5.
5, 7.
I just
Ready.
keep every client that I have and I have them under buyers and sellers, and then after they close, they go to past client, so I can always see their name at a quick glance.
Or-
Yeah,
That's
you're gonna
just
see
for
it.
You're
myself.
saying
Okay.
on your desktop or in the?
No, in my email.
So
Email.
Ruth,
I have
Ruth's
mine
gonna
as
show you that
closed.
next step, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be in her contacts.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So for
Yeah.
me, something that Ed has really challenged me and it's really helped me a lot, like declutter my brain, is that I tend to like to save things. I have no idea. I save a lot of things and I'm like, oh, maybe that's helpful. Maybe I want to go back to this discount email and use their code and save myself on some future business cards. But I think Ed says like try to delete many things as possible. And the fact that, you know, there is a deleted items folder, like you can see the number count is just really high because I've gotten to that point where I can look at, you know, the who's sending me what and the subject line. I know I'm not gonna need that. So I think deleted items, the fact that I'm not deleting things from my deleted items, it kind of feels like I get that reassurance. It's okay to delete things.
Got
because
it.
It's not really gone forever.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and if someone really wants to get a hold of you, they'll probably email you again, so that'll be okay.
Or they should call me.
Yeah, so let me give you an example of what I've done. So like for example, this is probably one of my better days. So in this case, the last email, the earliest email I got was 2:40 yesterday. So I got about all these emails into my inbox that I need to clear today. So what the exercise that we're gonna go through is like, think of RAFT. So as you go through your emails.
Think of what?
RAFT, the acronym. R-A-F-T.
Okay.
So R, so the way I look at this is I don't look at it, you need to do it in that order of the acronym, but the purpose is to just kind of keep those in mind. Is like R is something for review. So when you go through your inbox, refer?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, not bad. All right, so I do review all these emails, and in this case, if there's anything that you could refer out, so, you know, try to keep that in mind. So you would like ask someone to help you with that, or you would send it to Ed in this case sometimes, right? And then A is you want to take action. F is to file it away, to drop into one of the other folders that you create. And then T is for trash. So let me kind of walk you through how I do this. So I just go through, so in this case, April has emailed me, so I looked through this. I've gotten a good sense of where things are at with my client. So what I ended up doing is I sent her an email earlier today, and I said, "Hi April, you know, my client and I completed the walkthrough inspection of the home yesterday, and he's aware that we're working to close the property. So please let me know how I can support us." So that was kind of my way of saying, well, I don't think there's anything else I can do, but you let me know if you need something from me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just file it. So this is gonna be F in RAFT. So I'm gonna file this away into my client folder. So that's done. And then I noticed that the close is the person or this email sender that keeps sending me things.
Yeah.
Over time, I've gotten a habit of noticing who's emailing what. And this tells me, okay, it's because I somehow subscribe to some kind of service and they're sending me templates. I'm like, well, I don't need templates right now. I'm kind of busy, so I'm just gonna delete it.
So now, and here's the thing, RAFT is really great, but if I were to add one more thing to that acronym, it would be go and unsubscribe, because I gotta tell you, I unsubscribe. If there's something that I'm never gonna want, unsubscribe. Because if you don't, you might be looking at this every day for the next 2 years.
Right.
So unsubscribe.
So true.
If it's and here's what, don't be afraid to unsubscribe to stuff that you think, well, I might want it someday. Who cares? Just unsubscribe. Clear your mind.
Trash is where I'm comfortable at right now.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Whose head? Who do you need?
Mace needs to move so I can look at Brent directly.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry, Maze. Do you have to go get us
I was
water?
looking at
He's
email.
not looking at me.
Okay, and then, so mailer demon, that just tells me that,
Male demon?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
mail demon,
Uh-huh.
yeah, saying that it
Didn't
didn't
go
the email
through.
that didn't go through, so I don't know what to do with this.
What do you do?
Cause it doesn't really tell me, what sent, so,
You can look at the sender, and in most cases, I've never really had a case to where I couldn't delete it.
oh,
Remember, you're not deleting it, you're just putting it in the
But you
deleted
should
Yeah.
look
folder.
into that because it's.
yeah, that just tells me that someone I wanted to email for my weekly newsletter didn't get it, so.
Oh, okay.
So I'll
It
just
wasn't a
delete
client email, gotcha.
No, it's not a client email.
Okay,
So
I was gonna say, you
comfortable
should
attaching
figure
it.
out who, got it.
Yeah. So in this case, Zillow, I like to subscribe to Zillow just because I like to see what's in the market. So if I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Okay,
You
Lynn
can ask your
Elsnor's
realtor.
property, their land is selling for about 65K. Okay, cool. Good
So
enough.
do you read these things and then delete them? Is that what you do with your?
I do them, yeah.
Or
But
do you-
what I do is like when I say, to me, I see art as also review. Is like when I go through this the first day, it's like I try to find which are the most important ones because I don't
Right.
want to miss them. I don't want to treat this as like whoever last emailed me is most important. I want to take control of my day. So for example, like since I've already gone through this exercise, I already know that Tom and April's team email were most important for me today. So Tom, like for example, in my last, my typical day, I would just email Tom back and I would just say, Tom, I'll call you.
And see, it's the one thing I think the most underutilized, well, a couple are underutilized. One is act on it. Just get it over. I mean, I gotta tell you, if you keep looking at these emails and don't do it, you could have just done it quicker than that.
Right.
And to me, it clears, things out of my mind. I'll think about it later. I don't wanna have to put it in a to-do list, just do it.
It
Get
comes down
done.
to making decisions quick.
Yeah, and I'm a quick decision maker on things that aren't the end of the world. If something is the end of the world, it's a really big deal, I'll take more time to do it. But on things like that, on an email, I'm gonna be pretty quick on it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna send this email to Tom because Tom is helping me, in my mind, I already know that he's helping me with a lead that could be turned into a client with a BRBC, so I wanna make sure I call him back today, so I'm gonna let him know that I'm gonna call him. And then I'm just gonna delete that email. And then, so now, assuming you've already worked on your priority items, you already know that you have these miscellaneous emails to look through. So I would say Vista Print. I unfortunately am subscribed to a lot of things, but I know I'm not gonna need this. I'm not gonna need to print anything, so I'm just gonna delete.
Unsubscribe.
She knew you were gonna say that, that's why she.
That's why I paused. Like I said, my system is not perfect. But then I look at the front desk notification too, so I quickly read through these things. And sometimes I'm a little pressed for time, so I won't be able to go through everything. But I try to keep on a lookout for certain keywords. Then I'll say, oh, if there's anything like, for me, open house is super important. Like any opportunities, if I see them, then I'm gonna act on it. Cause like, let's say if this email said open house opportunity needed Saturday, then I was like, oh, then I need to email that person right away. But in this case, I didn't really see anything that I need to take action on, so I would just probably just delete it.
You don't keep a file for that? I keep a file for those,
From yesterday.
in case there's.
Yeah, it's a little late.
If you would have deleted it, it would have been gone.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, can I show it something? So that email you just sent to Tom?
Yeah.
If you go to your delete, just find it and you delete it.
Yeah, it should be.
If, like, for me, like, I forget everything unless it's on my
I
phone.
knew it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So what I would have done, or what I do is I would have pulled Tom's email and I would have pulled it to my calendar. So if you just.
Really?
It's right there.
Oh, like this?
So then pull it.
Well, he would be more
Wait,
like a do.
How do you pull that? Show.
Well, if I've just said I'm gonna call you at 4:30.
Right.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
at 4:30, pull the calendar, yeah.
Pull it and then,
So how
Just
are
go
you
to your calendar?
so drag it straight
Just
to the
drag it?
calendar.
Drag it to calendar, like this?
Oh, because you're using Outlook.
Oh,
And now-
got it.
You've got the email.
What the heck?
That's
You
how
put
it
it
is.
for 4:30 and then.
I didn't know
I might
that.
even read, I might
What are
write
you
on the end.
pulling, May? So you're pulling the whole email or just contact?
The email.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got the
Let me show
whole
you.
email.
So
That's
like
how you can put it in there.
hover.
That's nice, thanks, Mason.
Yeah, so if you see the cursor, so it's on Tom's email, right? So
Okay.
just drag it to this icon towards the
Oh,
left
wow.
with the calendar icon.
If that's if you use
And
your
that's if you
Outlook
use Outlook
calendar.
calendar,
Yeah.
You'll drop it in there.
I did.
This is on
That's Outlook.
That's only an hour.
Now,
And then you
understand,
put the.
if
you
Outlook
put
does it,
the-
others probably
So
do.
like go here and just hit
You
enter.
should
Yeah.
always
Forget
just
everything.
copy the email and put it in your calendar if you have any other.
And
So when
I'll
you
remind you,
reply
you
with the
forgot.
date and time, we always put on
Katrina.
the calendar.
And they can
Yeah,
change your
that way-
reminder.
Like,
That's
Ed
cool.
brought up
That's a cool
point
trick.
when he's
Yeah.
got like an appointment
Totally.
that saves
Yeah, yeah.
all the items that go with it. Well, if I was gonna call Tom, I'd be like, why am I calling Tom?
Yeah.
And then I'd see,
And now
okay,
you
this
get-
email.
You click on it,
and then
that's
I'd-
good. That's cool.
I like it.
Saves time from typing more even of your notes,
So there's
right?
a couple here.
Cool.
Delete.
Yeah, so I noticed that it defaulted to noon, so you just adjust the time in
Right.
here. So you would just save and close. So then-
Now, when you do that, it doesn't update Tom what time you're gonna call. Okay.
No, it's just.
Dang it, figure that one out.
And then if that was in Lynn's
send him an
inbox,
invite.
still, that Tom,
Yeah.
There you go.
you could delete the email, but it would still be on the calendar.
Oh, yeah,
I
good.
invite him
Cool.
too from there.
You could
Okay.
invite him, yeah, you could invite him.
Yeah, but then you probably have to clean up this whole email, right?
Oh, maybe.
I have.
Right? Would you?
don't
Yeah,
wanna-
yeah.
you don't wanna-
Yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
just like, I don't wanna talk to this girl.
No, be careful with that
I
one.
should delete that email, I file it into my.
Oh, file, yeah, you don't have to keep it in your inbox.
Yeah.
is what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that, very cool.
Okay. Like, yeah.
So we're good there.
Okay.
So now what we want to talk about a little bit is your contact relationship management, your CRM. And CRM is also, what is the best CRM? Who wants?
One that's used.
One to use, that's it. So I like Outlook, it's great. Salesforce is the granddaddy of all of them. That's what I used to use by our marriage by God. It is amazing. It's very expensive. We were able to get it through a nonprofit for free, but I don't think Salesforce is needed for this. Lion's Nest is probably the industry leader right now. Top Producer is way outdated. If you're on Top Producer, you're probably outdated. Apple Contacts, Google Contacts, those are the popular ones, and there's many others. Again, it's the important one is the one that you use. So Lion Desk is supported by OCAR, and so I think you see a lot of realtors using that. I used that when I did our recruiting at Aviara. I liked it. It does a lot of things. I still prefer, just for me, the way I do things, simplicity of things, I still preferred Outlook, which is not technically a CRM, but it can be, one is you're gonna see how Lynn uses it. And so, anyway, with that, I'm gonna let Lynn go into how she uses the,
Okay.
her
So-
Outlook
Yeah.
as her CRM.
Yep, so in this case, the cool thing I really like about Outlook is one, I've used it so long for over the years. I know there's a lot of corporations that I've worked at, they use Outlook, so I'm just a creature of habit, so I really like it. Every time I pull up Outlook, it puts me in like a work mode mindset, so I use the contacts right now to organize my clients as well as prospects. And so mainly, for example, I wanna split the differences are mainly between my clients and the prospects. So for example, I created a file just for my client. So these are like notes that were important to me to remember. So I noted down when did I talk to him for the first time. So I talked to him first here, and then since then I've added pictures to him. Just remind me, like, I know what he looks like, but I think once you get more clients in, it's just gonna be very overwhelming just to see a bunch of like nameless or faceless pictures, right?
Headless people, yeah.
And one of the things I call this my FBI file. I want to put everything I know about that person. Now, there's two things that Lynn is doing. One is, because this is an active client, she's making notes about the transaction, okay? And that's the main thing. But then there's gonna be permanent notes she has up there, like, how old he might be, or does he have a dog, or what's the dog's name, or, where's he work, or things like that. Those will be notes that are up there permanently. Once they close the home on Friday, they'll put which home they closed, what the model match was, what it closed for, things like that. That'll be permanent information. So the main thing that on this is that this becomes one of two things. It becomes a working prospect file, she's gonna show you that, and it also becomes a permanent contact file.
And how do you add a file on there?
So you go to your contacts tab here and you
Okay.
create, are you there yet? Under my
Yeah.
contacts?
Mhm.
Create new contacts. So this is what I would do. So we'll just make one up right now. So we'll just say Alex or something, right?
New
And then it's gonna automatically
Okay.
create this for you. And how I would do is like, so let's pretend I've just met Alex recently. Haven't got a chance to take a picture of this person yet, but I'll just say like, let's say I met him on the 25th. I'll just say met at, I don't know, house or something,
Mm-hmm.
looking for a 3-bedroom house in Lake Forest, right? And then from subsequently, anytime I take any more action on it, like for example, let's say if I try to call her and have a conversation with her and she shares more about herself, maybe we got to talk about how, oh, you're a dog person, me too. So I might write down like, oh, what kind of dog breed that she has, just to make it more personable and remember who she is also as a person other than just like a potential client. And then what I like to do, I'm actually really shy about taking pictures, so I don't go up to people.
That's a lie. You've taken so many of this team.
I like taking pictures of other people. Yeah, that's for sure. But what I do is I stalk them on Instagram, on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So I'll add a picture in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you go to LinkedIn and take a picture of their picture and put it
Well,
in?
she snaps
You
it.
can save it. You
Yeah.
can save it on your desktop and upload it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, let me show you.
Question.
Save
Have
it
you
on your
ever,
desktop, save it
used
in a file.
categories?
Yeah, I don't say
Categories?
Yeah, categories.
Oh, like this?
Yeah. And then you can create all categories, and you can create categories, and then you can rename them. And then like I have mine, for instance, whether it's a vendor or whether it's a lease client, if I sent them a newsletter,
Yeah.
and then you can filter, and then that way, like say you wanna see who your newsletter list is, and then they are who you're
That's a
under
mess.
contracts,
Okay, that's good
everybody
too.
all at one time.
Donna
It
is
helps
a
to-
mini
Donna, that's
Ed.
fantastic.
Oh.
Donna
that's
is a
great.
mini Ed. She's very organized.
And you know, the colors can work for you.
But don't
And
be
again, you
special.
kind of have to figure out your overall system and your
Yeah.
For me, I would probably not want that many categories. I want one category, contacts everybody in there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want
everybody's in your
color coding.
contacts, but then you add to your
Right.
contact, it's not about a color, it's about naming it.
Naming it, right.
So when you do a filter, so I have like their birthdays, for instance, so I know their birthday is in September, so you add as many categories as you want to one contact.
Mhm.
And
then when you filter, you
them,
can search and
like,
find
okay,
it
my
easier.
birthday's coming up next
Good.
month, and I
Okay.
filter like everybody in July.
Dang it.
kind of a
So you
thing.
filter like July birthdays, and then it comes up with all the people in
Donna,
July.
that's great.
Or like you say, who you met at open houses,
Mhm.
there's a little quick reference.
Just like a tag. It's like you tag it with
It's a
something.
tag.
So I like, I have
Can
all
you
your
go back
birthdays.
one
I
slide,
have
Lynn?
all
Can you
your
see your
birthdays on
what
the calendar,
categories you have
reoccurring
under-
events.
Always learning,
I
huh?
put it on my Google better client.
So do you
Right.
have that too?
Right.
Do you, Lynn, do
I
you
started, so
Okay.
I wanted to. So I created a Los Cat pickleball players. I was like, this is a lot of organizing. I'm not there yet. It's not my level.
No, but what's one back? Go one back.
So
How do you, I don't know how you would
Like go
filter.
out of X out of the contact.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
was there a file too besides that on there?
Like this?
Yeah. So that's where I wanted to
So
see
I have
under
like,
contract.
sent them a newsletter, their birthdays are this month.
See, my vision is so bad.
And then I
Watch
have-
it.
I wanna show you
that's my
pictures.
business.
Okay, guys, hey guys, let's get,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's kind of get back.
Can I see this?
So the way I remember this is that within contacts,
Yeah.
there's 2 ways to organize them. You can keep them as like the main database that captures everyone. Let's say you met 10 people last week. You'll always keep them, the 10 here in the contacts, and then you copy, let's say you copy and move them as a
Actually
copy.
move them.
Yeah,
What?
copy to folder, right? You're not actually moving them to other subcategories.
Right.
But you do it in a way where you make 2 copies.
Yeah.
You make one in the main contacts section, and then you make them under like your subcategory as well.
Now, one thing I like to do,
Wait a
and
minute.
this is a personal decision you have to make. I don't like to copy them, I like to only move them.
Yeah.
So when I make an A, like,
Yeah.
so, Lynn, we kind of worked this together. I used to just have a prospect list.
Uh-huh.
It was just called my prospect
Mhm.
list. But we really decided that we really needed A and B, because she would look at that list 3 days a week for her A list, but only once a week for her B list.
Okay.
B prospects.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the way I like to do it, this is a personal choice. I don't want to copy it, I just move it right to contacts, okay? Then when I'm done with it in contacts, either they close as a client or whatever, then I just move them back and clean up my notes on them.
Yeah.
Either way you want to do it, there's not a right or wrong, just depends on your mind. But be careful about copying folders, you're gonna have them all over the place.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, so the way I look at it is under.
You like the copy, or I think
I like
I thought
to
you like the move too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's in your contacts, and then you make a copy of certain contacts
You
for
can do that.
folders.
You can do that if you find that
That's
helpful.
what you were
I actually
saying.
don't like that because when you copy and you go under the subfolder, you start making notes and
Yeah.
you try to move them back, they merge a bunch of notes together.
Yes.
And
So
it's
what, I'm sorry, I thought that's what you said you did. So what do you do instead?
I said I meant to say there's two options. What I do is, let's say when I finish the escrow with Joshua, I'll move him back into contact.
So that's what Ed
Like
does.
what Ed
That's
just
what I
said.
like.
Okay.
And again, it's not a right or wrong, but I gotta tell you, I think you're gonna like, she
The
said.
merging of the notes seems complicated.
Yeah.
So for that
It's
reason
more-
alone.
And see, all you do is you just clean up the notes one time, you don't need the daily notes that he had on there. The big stuff you keep, you move them back, you're done.
Yeah, so for example, in this case, like, let me show you an example. I have my cursor on this contact, so I'm gonna move him into contacts, because I'm not helping with that anymore, so I'm just gonna move here. But I can always find Carson again. Let's say, we get a call from him and he wants some more help, we can go find him.
And here's the thing, since I have not really used this that much for clients, when I was going through this and trying to work with Lynn on it, actually, we had to make a lot of decisions on how we would do it current. And how she is doing it is those decisions that I think we both kind of agreed upon. I don't think we disagreed upon anything, like even the move as opposed to copy and things like that. But you might feel comfortable doing it a different way. But the main thing is you have to have a system that you know how to use it, you know how to get to it, and you update it. And remember, you're trying to make an FBI file on your clients. You know everything about them. One of the things that's really hard for new agents to kind of get this, Doris, is that you think you're gonna remember everything you talk to everyone, can remember them. Pretty soon, your head's gonna be spaghetti. You've talked to so many people, but if you gave somebody a price, let's say for instance, on a home, and you're at an open house, say, well, that home, those are selling for between this and this. I want to record it, because the next time they call me in 6 months from, I want to remember what I told them, and I would not have a clue what I told them. But imagine how impressive it is when they call back. Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. We were talking about back then. They were selling about this and this. They're going to be impressed. Now, I don't think they're going to know you made notes, but if they do, they'll be impressed you made notes. And if not, they'll think you're genius. Either way, it works.
I have a suggestion, because exactly what you said, it gets very confusing when you're working with multiple clients. So I've been very blessed. I just got referred to like 3 new clients, and when I meet them for their buyer's presentation, I tell them that I like to take a photo journey of the whole step of the process. Are you okay with me taking your photos? If not, we don't need to do that, but it's really fun, because at the end I'll put together a whole thing. So I take a picture of them at that appointment, because I have a lot of clients that have very challenging names and I forget who's who. So their
And you have so
picture
many.
goes in their
You have so
content.
many people.
Right now I have 3 that have
So
very
easy for
similar
me.
names.
She just wanted Sandra.
And it just helps if you add a photo. Even when I go to events, when I get people's business cards, I will take a picture of their business card. That will be their contact picture, because you can crop it until or I'll get a picture of them. Because we're gonna meet tons of people and you wanna take notes on all of them, because it's gonna help you in the long run.
That's a
I gotta
great
tell you,
suggestion.
also the reason why I like pictures, I have pictures of all you guys, is that when you guys call me, I mean,
Susie sees it.
your picture pops up. I like that. It kind of gives me a good feeling who you're talking to. So I like pictures
Right.
too. I
Yeah,
think we're
it
all pretty visual, so.
Yeah, so how I created these folders is I treat, under my contacts, I'll put the letter A and B just so it keeps it in the order of my prioritization. So right now, like, I live and breathe on this escrow, right, from start to finish. So I'm gonna put it at the top, so I put A : under contract. So anytime I get an escrow client or anything where I have a signed agreement, I'll move them into here and I'll work on it. But then for the other prospects, I'll split them into 2 categories. I kind of go with my gut feelings on this one, is that based on my prospects, whoever is most responsive to me, or there is a great potential that they'll probably buy based on how responsive they've been, or how strong I think the personal connection is, I'll put them in the A prospects category. And then I'll have a B prospect or category. And what I'll do is, I'm actually not able to take notes on every single file just because it is a very time consuming process. But the objective is to keep going through it as much as possible. It's like, do the maintenance on it, like, try to add pictures to it. Or, for example, like, look at the notes that you had and see if there's any other way you can come back and make another contact. So for example, I've met Laura back in April. So I've gotten her information. I know where she works. I know her phone number. I keep a lot of personal notes because even though she's not buying yet, I know that she works at Kaiser Permanente, she pet sits, she has a mom, and where she lives, you know, the conversations we've had, she's expressed interest about like withdrawing money from her retirement account. So I'm like, oh, that's a keyword. I'm like, I think maybe potentially one day whenever she's ready, she'll go ahead and want to buy from me. So I did write a note and reminded myself. I told her I will remind us to get wine or coffee in the summer. So I know that I'm going to keep her in my prospects, and in the summertime I'm going to go back to this file and I'm going to say.
Now, what about this? What if, since it's the summertime, why don't you put in your calendar right now as a to-do? Right now, you can go say summertime, I'm thinking June 15th. So put it down June 15th, carry that note, you know, make copies of that notes, carry it in there, and now when that comes up, you know exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
And you don't have to come back and look at it again and figure out a time to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. What Ed is saying, you could just create a new appointment and you could just say contact Laura. Right?
And you can even say C notes or copy the notes
Yeah.
into there.
Yeah. You do C notes. And you just make sure to say save and close. Make sure you do look at the dates here, because every time it does something like this, it just defaults to something. So I would say, I know I'm probably best free in July, so I'm probably gonna put it for the 7th of July. That's when I'm gonna contact her. Okay, so back to the prospects. So now that we covered what are the distinction between the different contact, you know, like I said, you can always create a new folder. Based on, if you like the system setup that I had, just right click and then click new folder. And then just make sure that you drop it under here, contacts, and then you put your name. And then you click OK. And then you'll be able to set up everything here. Okay, as far as taking pictures of clients, so I can give you an example. Let's say once you create a test file for you. So let's say you filled out everything you know about your potential client. If you click on this icon, it's in setup for you to add their picture. So I'll go over to my desktop because I saved a picture of this person, and I'll click OK, and it populates it in. So now you have a picture of who they are, and then you just click save and close. So that's how you're gonna build your inventory of all these different contacts.
Great stuff.
Okay, and yeah, so as far as my clients, that one, I'm just looking at it every day obsessively as much as I could, just because I know I want to make sure there's any new emails or any opportunities to remind my client of what needs to be done on the loan. But then when it comes to my prospects, I know that my A prospects, I'll try to go through these at least maybe 3 times a week. And then for the prospects, I guess I try to look at it once a week. I would say, in my personal experience, if you force yourself to write a note for every single one, you're gonna get burnt out really quickly. So I would say just kind of, you know, create the pictures in there because it makes it really a lot quicker to, you know, to differentiate who you're working with. Because as soon as you see the picture, you're like, oh, okay, Daniel, I remember that guy. That guy's probably gonna buy from me one day. Versus like, you know, someone else. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that person is really busy right now. So I think the pictures really help for recalling. And the point is to go through these contacts as frequently as possible to kind of keep it fresh in your mind that these are the people you're gonna prioritize your time.
So how many contacts does NER say it takes to turn a cold lead into a working client?
20.
9.
Yeah, they say 9. So, I mean, that's a lot. But, I mean, if you go through these, remember, the contacts aren't always like you have to call them or meet them. It can be a little text message. I mean, you know, just update them with what the market conditions are going on, or, you know, think about them, or just say, hey, don't have anything new, but I'm still thinking about you. I'm looking forward to the day we'll find the right house. Just keep the touches out there. Touch, touch, touch. That's what you want to do. And making simple touches can be done very quickly every day. So, okay, so last thing I want to talk about is cloud storage. It's really quick.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you.
The main thing about cloud storage is you just need to have it. Whether you use Dropbox or iCloud or Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive, doesn't matter. Just have a backup, guys, and don't just rely on the Office backup because there are some restrictions on that. But make sure you back up. Okay. Any other questions you guys have? Have we gone long enough to?
Shoot, I did.
Hey, so what we're gonna do for lunch today is we are, for whoever would like to go to lunch, we are gonna go over to Taco Mesa, okay? The only thing I'd say is let's kind of go over together. If somebody shows up in 30 minutes from now after everyone else, we're gonna all be done eating and gone. I'm not gonna pay for your lunch, but if you all get over there right away, I'll give them the credit card one time, we'll order, we can put some tables together and have some lunch, so. Any other questions, stuff? As far as my, hit that.
You didn't